I'm a bobblehead. Kind of looks like me, doesn't it? Mr. Davis, how are you, sir? Hey, I wanted to share with you one of our success stories moving a real studio from DSLR to mirrorless. In fact, this was one of the studios that we moved from film to medium format digital, then from medium format to DSLR style digital, and now to mirrorless. Why? Well, on the photo side, mirrorless is lots faster and it's easier for what we need to do. The autofocus is terrific because Marc's kind of getting up there in years. This is world famous portrait photographer Marc Hauser's place. Also, we've got a couple other really neat features with mirrorless. Of course, we've got the ability to shoot video, right? Louis shooting me on a mirrorless camera right now, but this is a typical setup here, right? Continuous light, that's LED light in a big Larson 4x4. We use reflector panels. You can see the image quality is really beautiful, right? We have the ability of adjusting things in a mirrorless camera to shoot high-end black and white that we don't have in DSLR unless we shoot RAW. So imagine, if you're a high-end black and white portrait photographer and the only way to get beautiful black and whites that you want is to shoot RAW, have somebody custom process those RAW files, wait for it, that's delaying a lot of time because Marc wants to shoot, show the customer, get them to order the first print, they make the print, out they go with a gallery to buy more prints. So here you're going to see, this is a Lumix GH3, mounted on it is the 12 to 35. I've got a microphone on there. This isn't the microphone that I'm real happy with, by the way. And I've also got an external screen. That's a high-end screen. You're probably not going to need that. But that screen allows me to completely dial in my dynamic range, sharpness, contrast, exposure, of course. But I can even mess around with the resolution if I need to, too. That allows me to produce a JPEG, it's black and white, that can sail right through the rest of the system, get a vignette put on it, get a black edge put on, a black border on it, and then print it and done. No kidding. No monkey doodling around in Photoshop or Lightroom at all. Now this entire studio is set up for that same thing, right? Every hour, another group comes in. They sit down for 7 to 12 minutes, then they come on over to the sales section. This is going to have a Mac computer that's connected to the camera on the set there by a USB cable. All the images fly into Lightroom as soon as we're done. Louis is the technician here. He goes through with the family, gets rid of the blinkies and the ones they don't want. He goes through the process. Then when they whittle it down to 1 or 2, Louis will send one of those files over to this Macintosh, which runs the printing network. Now, did you notice that the printer back here is still within eye shot from when the people are choosing their images, right? So they're going to see the final black and whites or colors. By the way, when I shoot here, and I shoot like Marc, I'm shooting either 16:9 horizontal, color or black and white. When it's color, I warm them up on purpose, about 300 or 400 degrees warmer, right? Then I also shoot square in black and white and color. So what we want to sell at this studio is big, beautiful print, framed the way Marc likes it, out of our printers. That's the primary goal. We sell other things here too, but that's the primary. So this iMac runs this 9800, a 3880, 7880, and a 4880, right? They're all running the same paper except the little guy. It runs all kinds of little artsy-fartsy papers. So this has image print on it, right? We're not printing from Photoshop. Photoshop's horrible for high-end inkjet. Image print, if you're not familiar with it, it's RIP software, it's very expensive, but it's beautiful. It eliminates all the mistakes. You just can't get any better. So, your question was, small sensor size, are you really going to be able to get the resolution that you're looking for? Well, let me show you some examples. Here is a shot. I'll bring it over there a little. I'll go back over the table. Here is a 24 by 24 print. Now this is color, of course. Let me get back under the light so you can see it. Here you go. This is shot with the Lumix GH3. This is the 35 to 100 lens. Shot wide open at f2.8, face detect autofocus. It's in the, I think, natural photo style mode to give it that kind of warm look. And you get a chance to look at the detail here. It's really great. There is no lack of resolution whatsoever. Now please remember, that is a JPEG. And that JPEG gets selected by the customer. Then it gets a vignette put on it in Lightroom. It gets spit out. And then when it's printed through image print, we're adding a black border to it, right? Now, how good is good? Here's what we got. Mother and daughter came in. Wonderful folks, by the way. She wanted a big print. So we took the image, she asked if it would be retouched. So I shot this in JPEG, buddy. Remember, this is cropped to 30/40, so the 16:9 would be a little wider, that's all. Shot it in JPEG, sent it over to Suzette Allen to have a little retouching done here. That's all, very little. She didn't do any contrast, color, whatever. Just all she did was retouching, so that's the original color that comes out of the camera. Then I took that JPEG and I put it in image print, I sent it over to that big printer, and I got a 30/40 that the client's very happy with. Now, just in case you wanted to see, here is 2-person 16:20. Don't even think about resolution problems. The only time you get into problems when you go to 16:20s is when you have more than 5 or 6 people. The head size starts to get small, or if you shot it kind of wrong, like under or overexposed, that's where you get into problems. But if you're talking about 1, 2, 3, or 4-person portraits, 16:20 from even a small mirrorless camera is fine. Here's a 20/24, brother, and then this doesn't lie. Luke, can you get closer, by the way? Let's take a closer look at some of the image quality. See how close you can get here on this 30/40. Go on under her teeth, if you would, please. Hopefully you can see that as well. There's no pixelization, rasterization, no big deal. Now, if I would have got Marc's leaf back out, and I would have shot this with the leaf back and a big old Hasselblad, would I have sharper resolution? Yes, I would. I would be able to see my reflection in her teeth. But I don't care, and the customer doesn't care. Did the customer have a problem with this? Not in the slightest. Customer loves this. So here's the bottom line. The bottom line is those smaller sensors have a ton of technology that make things like this easier, faster, better. This studio is more profitable because we're using mirrorless. That's the fact. Every hour there's a new session coming through here. The faster we can shoot and send files that are really attractive and appealing to a customer to look at on the screen to choose, the more they buy, the happier they are, the less work we have to do. That connection between the customer coming in, getting a picture, leaving with a print, and then buying more prints on there is now compressed. Soon we'll be going to, instead of an hour sessions, 45 minutes. That's a 25% efficiency increase, and it's coming that way. So I think you can do the same in your end of the universe, and you know my plan about how you can save a ton of money. We'll talk about that privately because this is a public video. So I'm not even going to tell my viewers who you are. You're a secret friend. Okay, thanks, pal. Have a great one.